Kohli.
That's all anyone could focus on at the first while.
Exactly, because for 10 to 15 minutes, when Naveen ul Haq came onto the crease, the cameraman was focusing on only two individuals.
Virat and Naveen.
Exactly.
Cameraman, jaldi
focus karo. And whenever Virat fielded, the emotions and the roar that erupted at the Arun Jaitley Stadium was next level.
In fact, the first ball which Naveen faced, Kohli tried affecting a run out, pretty bad throw, and he apparently gave KL a bit of a earful for not affecting the run out properly, and KL also told him things back.
Of course.
Yeah, it was a bad throw.
It was a bad throw from KL, Virat Kohli. What can you do about it? This is where I think you've seen the trailer. Asli picture baki hai. Isn't it? So on this stage in Sports Today, it's India versus Afghanistan. We are discussing the mid innings, but there's a special debut that's come, and we welcome Shashwat to the Sports Today program. And boy oh boy, as a local Delhi boy,
how fun was watching that?
That was pretty fun, especially just wanted to ask this to the two of you. What is this with Afghanistan versus India in World Cup games comparatively to the game they played against Bangladesh? To this game, quite a better performance by them. They were likely get it was looking like they're going to get to 300 at 37 overs. They were 201. So a great performance by the Afghanistan.
Actually, yeah, if it were not for that,
happy with the score they've gotten on to.
Correct. If not for that bit of a collapse later on, I think they were actually on course for 300. And thanks to some brilliant bowling by Jasprit Bumrah, really that pegged them back. Him and of course, I think it was Kuldeep Yadav who got the key wickets of Hashmatullah Shahidi. That was also a big turning point, because I think if Shahidi had to stay on longer, then you would have also again been looking at him potentially not just getting 100, but adding to the total, and they could have gone past 300. Again, I still think even if they went past 300, India favorites to chase, because the dew factor is really going to come into effect in the second innings. But Afghanistan do have this tendency. Even again, 2019, I was mentioning in the pre also, you won it. It was a stolen victory thanks to that Shami hat trick. Otherwise, Afghanistan could have potentially won that match.
Exactly. And again, look at the strike rates. I'll add on to what Shashwat had also stated, that at 37 overs, 201.
They were pretty much looking to get on to 300 at that point.
But only 71 runs in 13 overs. That too at just a run rate of over 5.
That's when they start to lose their wickets.
Exactly.
That's when you started to lose wickets. That's when Bumrah came into play, because Bumrah had won one wicket to you earlier. But the remainder of those wickets came right towards the end.
All the players who could have accelerated, all of them, whether it be Shahidi, gone for with Kuldeep, but thereafter Nabi, dismissed by Bumrah, Najibullah Zadran, dismissed by Bumrah, Rashid Khan, the biggest wicket,
he hit a 6. He hit a 6 to Bumrah. The next ball finds the fielder. By the way, almost got a reprieve as well. Kuldeep just
juggled it.
Yes, that was a juggled catch that Kuldeep Yadav took. And by the way, had that catch not taken, another 10 to 15 runs could have easily come.
Shahidi, if I'm not wrong, was the one who got out while trying to reverse sweep Kuldeep, right?
It was Hashmatullah Shahidi.
Again, when you're batting at 80, I don't expect you to be doing that. I expect you to be taking more responsibility.
That too when you have 13 more overs to play, approximately
13 more overs to play. Again, you know that you're looking at a flat deck. You've done contrary to what many had expected and opted to bat first. If you're looking at safety first, if you're looking at, let's say, being secure, putting your team in a position of security.
You need bare minimum 300.
Exactly. Again, that's why I would have expected a little more maturity from Hashmatullah Shahidi. Also, given that he's the captain of the side, did well to get to 80. Perhaps at 80, had it been 120 for him, because he was looking very good. He was not looking phased at all. There was nothing. By the way, this pitch will not phase many batters, truth be told. It won't probably phase your lower end batters as well, or even your tailenders for that matter. This pitch has absolutely nothing.
Because see, look at the problem. I can understand why Hashmatullah Shahidi wanted to play that high risk shot. Look at the top order and look at their strike rates. 75, 78, 72, 90. Even Azmatullah Omarzai was going at about 89.
Just little.
You saw what happened in the Pakistan game. At least two batters got you just over 100. In this case, None were doing that.
The only ones who did it were Rashid, who only got 16 runs, and Naveen at 112. And again, can't count that because he got you 9 runs, so hardly matters.
The top and the middle order batted very conservatively, and that is why Afghanistan are a good 80-90 shot. If you have to look at, because what did who said 350 is the bar score?
I'll tell you why I will not, let's say, hold that against Afghanistan, because they're not a South Africa or an England who actually have the resources and the wherewithal to be giving you those 80-90 extra runs. Right now, I think they've done a good enough job. Given Afghanistan, given our limited expectations, remember as well from Afghanistan, given how given the fact that this format of the game isn't their strong suit. 1, 2 is the fact that you're playing the hosts. Third is the fact that again you've done something which when you weren't expecting, which is choose to bat first. So if you put together all of those 3 points, even with 272, somewhere I think they'll be satisfied with what they've done. Maybe they also knew 350 against this Indian bowling would not have been something they could have anyway done.
I would say that's true. That's absolutely true. But then again, see, you would want to give out a statement. I mean, this was an ideal kind of pitch.
Can you do that against the hosts?
But don't you think that Afghanistan going back into the dressing room at this point would think that they have an outside chance? Do remember that the due factor is going to play a very big role, as Rohit Sharma mentioned on the toss also. But with the 3 spinners, if they have a good day with the ball, they get the top order. Even though India has done pretty well after losing the top 3 wickets in the last game, still if they manage to get the top wickets early on, do you think they have an outside chance? Keeping in mind the fact that the wicket is an absolute belter.
Outside chance will only be they'll need to get wickets consistently. But good point you're raising for a very simple reason. Hashmatullah Shahidi in the pre-match did say that we are okay getting runs and then we back our bowlers to restrict. It'll be tough, sure.
Very tough.
It'll be very tough. In fact, if you look at just how this pitch is playing and the fact that you're expecting the pitch to ease out under lights and then due factor to come in, I think
it's going to be a very big issue.
They need early wickets.
See, unless the ball begins to skid, which I don't think will be the case here in Delhi. Again, you're not playing in Chennai where the ball has the potential to skid. Delhi isn't that track where you often see the ball.
Old Delhi you may have gotten.
Exactly.
This Delhi, no.
Exactly. Where it's becoming flatter and flatter, where you saw 428 being scored the other day. Today as well, like I said earlier, none of the batters were really phased. Why were the Indian bowlers for the longest part, even the likes of Kuldeep was wicketless, I think, till his 8th over. It was in his 8th.
Kuldeep was getting attacked also,
getting attacked as well. So many
and I credit one particular player for that. Noor Ahmed. I mean, the Afghan batters would have gotten tremendous practice against Noor Ahmed.
Correct.
Exactly.
And that is the reason why Kuldeep was kind of negated. I mean, 10 overs, 1 for 40. I mean, he did the same thing in Australia, but there he looked like creating more chances in the Australia game.
The wickets were pretty different, Chennai and here, I feel.
But I think Kuldeep is that one bowler who kind of takes the wicket and conditions out of the equation, because for the kind of bowling that he does, he kind of takes the pitch out of the equation.
Only to an extent, Siddharth. See, at some point he will need some sort of that 1%, 2% assistance he will still need. Maybe that 1-2% he wasn't getting today.
Yeah, but Afghanistan tackled him well because they had practice against Noor, and that is why he kind of struggled. I mean, he was hit for 2 sixes, if I'm not mistaken, by Omer Saeed.
But even the 10 overs, 40 for 1,
pretty good.
He made a good comeback.
Tells you about the fact that on a flat deck, this is a player who's in form. By the way, these are not bad figures. It's just that you weren't expecting him to probably go for 40 also.
Even if you went for 40, it's fine. I think you expected more wickets.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 for 40 would be more like a classic Kuldeep performance. But again, you see the kind of conditions out there. Siraj struggled a lot today. Hardik Pandya also, by the way, got you 2 wickets, but was expensive. It's very telling. Yeah, the birthday boy was very expensive. It's very telling that you seeing 6 Indian bowlers there, and Shardul Thakur is not the most expensive of the lot. He's the 3rd most expensive, and 5.2 in 6 overs with a wicket. Typical Shardul. I'll take that from him. Whereas Hardik, mind you, got hit for a few.
I think if we are to just talk about players in particular and Shardul Thakur, because he'll always be in conversation every time Ravichandran Ashwin sits out and he's in the side, the talk's going to be around him. I think with the ball he's done his job. Not bad figures on a flat deck, bowled 6 overs for 50 or
31.
31 odd runs, so that's 5.20 with a 1 wicket. I think the Indian team would say, okay, this was
We'll
exactly
take
what
this.
you
Exactly.
got you for, so we're happy. Just if we are asked to, if you're asked to bat, let's say, then we expect you to give us those 25-30 odd runs in about that much time or slightly lesser time or slightly lesser balls.
Say, say a 25 of 20 balls or a 30 of 20 balls would be what you'd expect from him.
Yeah. And I think that anything above that, I think will be a bonus.
Correct.
Bonus. And again, let's compare it to the Chennai track. Okay, 30 overs, 6 for 104. 3 spinners were bowling at that time. Here, 2 spinners. You've conceded 18 overs, 1 for 78. Okay, 1 for 78 with just about 4.3 economy rate. Is that your normal given? Okay, in any kind of condition, see, you want to play
more than good considering the kind of conditions you had.
Yeah, it's flat. It was considered to be a belter, as Sanjay Manjrekar pointed out that 350 could have been a par total here,
Correct.
by which they are about 70-80 runs short, by the way. So, if you look at it, in 2 consecutive matches that you have seen, 50 overs for 182 runs for a total of 7 wickets that the Indian spinners as a unit have given. So going ahead, the spinners are going to be your major thing, not just for wickets, but also because of run restrictions in the middle overs. Look at what was the situation. I mean, 34.2 I'm saying, they were 184 for 4. This is 90s, early 2000 like style of cricket.
Correct.
That is where, see, run scoring in the middle overs. That's why I said Afghanistan batted very conservatively, but the flip side of the coin is the spinners did an exceptional job.
And most of them, the spinners, I think Bumrah really in that towards the death.
Yeah.
Because again, if you look at say even 225 for 5 with 42.4 overs, that means you have what 7.2 overs to get about 70 runs. You back a team to do it if they had their power hitters.
Yeah.
What did Bumrah do? Got rid of all the players who would be potential threats. Shahidi gone, Najibullah Zatan gone, Mohammad Nabi gone, Rashid, most important. Rashid, by the way, was looking imperious. He was getting those unconventional strokes of his, he was getting them away. Correct.
Yeah.
He is like that. He likes those pickup shots.
Yeah, the snake shot.
Yeah.
That
That is
snake pickup shot of his.
And Bumrah, let us focus a bit on Bumrah because his spell of 4 for 39 and
By the way,
wisely rotated by Rohit Sharma also.
I think 4 for 39 centimeters, I think it's his best World Cup figures as well.
Yes, correct.
It is. Because I think this previous best was, I think he did against New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken, 2019 World Cup semi-final. I think that was his best analysis at that time. But again, because Bumrah's spell is even more important considering the fact that the rest of the pacers, look at it, how they got hit. Siraj in particular, I think he had a very off day. 76.
70 odd, what?
76. 9 overs done for 76. And had Bumrah also leagued runs,
He would have been trouble. Yeah, in fact, you could have easily then surpassed if, see, even today by Shardul by his own standards was economical.
Yeah.
So again, in those 6 overs, if instead of going for 31, he went for say 50.
Yeah.
And if say Bumrah was also expensive or Pandey was a little more expensive, Pandey also pulled things back later on because he got those 2 wickets. Whereas early on, why was he so pumped? It was because the guy was taking him for runs.
Yes, Omar Zai and
Omar Zai was
Zai,
taking him for plenty of runs, which is why he was so pumped up when he got him out.
But quick food for thought, guys. Sorry, Shane, you were making.
No, I'm saying that's it. The thing is that with Bumrah's those figures really make things look a lot better.
Yeah.
That 4 for 39 is vintage Bumrah. Bailed you out of trouble on a day when, by the way,
as he is playing more, he's getting better and better.
yes, his rhythm is coming back even more.
Yep. So look at your pacers combined. If you look at it, I mean, especially the 5th bowler slot. I mean, you can call them the 5th bowler, Pandya and Shardul.
Yeah, the sharing.
They're sharing. So 13 overs for 74 for 3.
It's perfectly fine considering you're not bowling them. You're not bowling them 10 overs.
That too on a placid deck. That too in the daytime.
But shifting focus, let's say to one man who you're expecting to bowl 10 overs every time India are out there in the field, bowled just 9 today and was the most expensive of the lot. Just thinking, is there enough evidence, let's say, or enough that we've seen today in Delhi for us to be thinking and for this team management to be thinking ahead of Siraj on flat decks? You got in your reserves, you got a Mohammad Shami, who also, by the way, isn't, let's say, your best possible resource in flat conditions. But just saying, with the experience that he comes in with, does he then on flat decks become somebody you would want to turn to, given the beating that Siraj got today? That to remember, you weren't playing England. You weren't playing England or South Africa.
I think it's too soon to actually.
Pretty soon.
I think you'll have to give him maybe if he follows this up with another bad performance against say, Pakistan, where conditions are going to be similar, then you might ask that question. Because I think Siraj has been your best bowler in ODIs now for nearly a year.
Remember, it was just 2 matches, or maybe you may say 3 matches ago, that he had a spell of 6 for 21. Just 3 matches. I mean, I know that nowadays the road.
No, exactly what my question was. Is there enough at the moment for this to be, let's say, food for thought?
No, not yet. If he has another 1 or 2 bad performances, then yes.
I think one more, and maybe I could be tempted to think, because I know what Mohammad Shami can offer to me with the new ball, regardless of the conditions.
But again,
Wobbly seam of his can make the ball talk even on a dead track.
I mean, let's not forget how much success he has had with the Gujarat Titans.
And remember, you are potentially not playing the leading run getter and the leading wicket taker in Ahmedabad on 14th. That might be the situation. But again, see, Siraj, how did he do well in the game against Australia? Just in Chennai. I think he lacked penetration. I think either he was fatigued or something, or maybe the conditions were just not up for him. But you've seen him bowl in even more placid decks.
I mean, he's done well in Bangalore, let's be fair.
He's done well, and look at it here. None for 76. I might be tempted. Okay, see, I think you will not make any kind of major changes until the Pakistan game. Because now, look at the turnaround time. You've got 4 days until Bangladesh. You've got 2 days after that, New Zealand turnaround time. Okay. After that, you have 1 week. Maybe in that interim period, you can probably look at, okay, if the condition in Ekana dictates that I play spin, Shardul out, Ashwin in.
Correct.
If maybe Siraj has not done well against Bangladesh, I'll probably get Shami in for New Zealand. You can't keep it for too late also. Remember, it has to be pinpoint when I will take that call. Because you've taken it after the 6th game. Then you're not being fair on Mohammad Shami also. So get him back into rhythm. Anyway, Shami is not a rhythm bowler. When he's been out for 6-7 months, but he comes back into rhythm. He took 5 wickets against Australia and Mohali.
Yeah, I think ever since he worked on his fitness, became much leaner, that dependence on his rhythm kind of stopped. Because now he's given so much rest, because of course he plays a lot of test cricket also.
Yep.
So he is rotated, but when he comes back, generally speaking, tends to hit the ground running.
Exactly. So that's why, see, Siraj, if he does well against Pakistan and does well against Bangladesh, that's it. That debate ends. He is playing the entire World Cup.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't do well, then you have to make that call by 22nd. Because you need Shami to give him that much of game time. Because you're potentially playing him for 4 games. That's it. After that, if Siraj does well, if Shami doesn't do well, fall back on Siraj. But then remember, Bumrah has bowled 10 overs continuously. He's bowled 10 overs even in Australia, in the Australia game, bowled well even in this also. Now, whether you'll rotate him for any of the other games also remains to be seen, because I don't see Bumrah playing all 9 games.
No, at some point you'll definitely
have to rest him.
Exactly. So, this is...
Word.
Just before the innings started, just taking out the due factor, if we take out the due factor, do you feel, are you going to give Afghanistan an outside chance in this game?
You added that caveat. If the due is not there, I would.
Because you have to remember, with the 3 spinners, you even have Naveen who's going to bowl more of the
will also be bowling spin.
So if the wicket is helping the spinners,
I will say Afghanistan will give a much better fight.
Then
if the due is not there, but if the due is there, I think India are just walking away with this. Because they are batting.
Then it's
the depth is too great. Until number 8, see, you got batting today until Shardul. Guaranteed batters. Sure, everybody will say, oh, Shardul doesn't contribute to the bat, but see, even if he hits a 15 or a 20, Shardul's done his job.
Exactly.
You're not looking at 40 or 50 every single time. It's not as if India are 100 for 7. Then you'll need Shardul to hit a century.
Then you need Shardul to hit 100.
That has not come as of yet. So you cannot blame Shardul Thakur for getting that many. He hasn't got that much of batting.
In ODIs.
Yes, but when the chance has come in the 2 Asia Cup encounters,
he kind of underwhelmed.
He underwhelmed. That's sure. It's not going to be very easy for Shardul. But remember, you picked the number 8 primarily because he is going to be your backup bowler. And also because he's going to do well.
A bowler who could bat.
Yes. Pandya is a batter who can bowl. Shardul is a bowler who can bat.
Correct.
That's the
primary reason you want Cotton and Ashwin, a bowler who could bat.
Correct. Same. That's why they are alternating and competing for that exact same
You
spot.
wanted him over Akshar, if I could.
Yeah. I think you did. Once it was clear that Akshar was
He
not
got
going to be
an injury,
available.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's take some
I'll start with William Sully back
with oh god, why does he keep on doing that?
because he's an Arsenal fan.
Arsenal fan,
Yeah.
get
He
that.
says Shane loves to cosplay Naveen's cutters every single time.
Exactly, and he's saying what if Ishan flops today? I think he will persist with him until Shubman Gill comes back.
Yeah.
And to be fair, these
And
kind
I
of
think
conditions are tailor-made
yeah,
for him.
exactly. I was getting to that only.
So
Pretty
if
good conditions for Ishan to do well.
because see, if Ishan Kishan can do well on these conditions, when Shubman comes back, he will anyway have to sit out.
It doesn't matter. He can score 200 here and he's still going to be sitting out.
There
once
is a
Gill is back.
precedence. He scored 200 in Chattogram, got dropped for Shubman.
Who then came back and scored a 200.
Exactly. So, and remember, Shubman's coming back in Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad. So that's what I'm saying.
The Prince in Ahmedabad.
Either of them, scoring a double century, and if it's Ishan come, it's the start of a pattern that we know very well how it goes.
Yeah. GGK is asking me, Sid, will be epic if Naveen gets Virat pretty early. Will at least keep toxic fan bases.
No, it'll do the opposite. Whatever happens, GGK, the fan base is going to be loud.
It
Trust
will be
me.
loud.
It was loud. Ravi Shastri,
But okay.
Was acknowledging it.
He pointed it out even when he came out of bat. By the way, I must give credit to Naveen, and I won't get a lot of praise for this, but I think the way that he didn't react to the whole situation with about 15, 20 odd thousand people shouting Kohli, Kohli at you, he wasn't riled up by that. Scored a couple of good boundaries, a couple of good strokes, by the way. We'll have to wait and see. I'm thinking just till now with whatever that we've seen. Also, it'll be very interesting how those handshakes go about once the match gets over. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a dedicated camera for those two individuals.
And by the way, what's even more interesting is that Gautam Gambhir is today on commentary duty.
Imagine Gautam Gambhir on comm duties, Naveen Haq bowling to Virat Kohli. Wow.
Right now, if you were to direct a movie, you got the perfect ingredients.
Everything.
You're looking at
what genre are you going to do?
You're looking at Delhi. Then you're looking at Virat Kohli. Then
Gautam
there's
Gambhir.
obviously that subplot of Delhi being Virat Kohli's home ground. Then you're looking at Naveen Haq, and then you're looking at Gautam Gambhir, who has association with Naveen and Virat and Delhi.
So, okay, what is the film genre that you're going to direct then? Drama, tragedy, adventure, thriller,
Drama, thriller.
mystery,
and plus 18.
yes. Yeah.
Add mangoes.
Yeah, it should have been played at different times. Summers, mango would have been much more available. Now it's not there anymore. So
Don't be that sweet.
it won't be that sweet anyway. So that is one contest by which this entire, and Shane and I did a debate yesterday about how Delhi's public is. You provoked the king.
They didn't disappoint.
Yeah, and the king is playing in his fortress. We never forgive, we never forget. And that is how, when Naveen Haq is bowling and Virat is on strike, there are going to be fireworks galore. Although I think fireworks are banned in Delhi, right, for this Diwali.
They're officially always banned.
They're always banned, but today we're going to see fireworks.
In fact, this time around, you don't even have green crackers that have permission. Even green crackers are banned.
I'll wait to see who stops people. No?
Forget about all that. We are going to see firecrackers today. When
You'll see firecrackers, no, because India will be playing Netherlands. They'll be hitting everyone out of the park.
Oh God, that's what Diwali day. Goodness, I think thank you BCCI and ICC for this.
Wasn't so much ICC, we all know.
I don't think the toxic fan bases will be shut by this GGK. But I think if Naveen dismisses Virat, then he'll have a bit more of the bragging rights. But if Virat tears him apart,
Oh man, the crowd is going to go ballistic.
finished.
Then again, we all know.
Finish.
We all know that Virat tends to sometimes struggle against off spinners.
He does, but again, if Virat masters that, then I think Naveen's confidence will take a big hit. If he comes back for the IPL and does well, hats off to his mental strength. Hats off.
Siddharth, not to be confused with the Siddharth sitting here, says not in Delhi, but weather shows 39% humidity. Don't think dew would be that prominent. My dear friend, come October and the cool air, dew is prominent every single morning and evening.
Siddharth, we can tell you it's already getting nippy in Delhi for the last couple of days. You will see, in fact, it will be a surprise if dew doesn't play a part here. You expect the dew to play a big big role in the second innings.
Exactly, and already you're seeing in the evening times because already the days are getting shorter
And
here.
even Rohit mentioned before the toss that there was a lot of dew.
Exactly.
Their last
exactly.
evening when they came out for the practice.
Also, William Saliback makes another interesting point. One, I'm surprised you didn't notice. What are your thoughts on Bumrah doing the Rashford celebration after getting that first wicket?
He did
this.
that. Oh, sir,
I just hope his
actually
form.
missed that.
I just hope his form doesn't go the way Rashford's form is.
But why? What is that? It's a symbol of. I thought.
Like, I don't-
something.
It's about multiple things actually. When Rashford does that, it's about mental strength. It's also about having your own calm and believing in the process. So it's a culmination of a couple of
so
things.
this is a new thing for me. I never knew that this was a Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, he's been doing it since
For a while now, since last season.
Last year, though, it worked well for him because he would get the opportunity to do
He was
it
in
so
previous
often.
form. Yeah.
So often he would get the opportunity, but it's been a dry spell for him this time around.
It has been. It has been. So Varun Parvatneni saying, Iyer coming good today. If not, Sky coming in for Park match.
No. You're not dropping Iyer 2 games in. You'll give him at least 3-4
But
before making that call.
I think that Sky is a must in this 11 also because he gives that X factor.
He's a must.
Batting down the order. He gives that differentiating factor.
Who do you
to
take
the
out?
11.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
See, as predicted, maybe suppose if Shubman Gill doesn't regain that much of fitness, okay? That is a scenario that I'm pointing out. And Ishan Kishan fails and the team management has no confidence.
Then you do that thing where
Then
you push everyone
Virat
up.
opens, then Shreyas comes at 3, KL at 4, then you have Hardik at 5, Surya
Sky
at
at
6.
6.
But just a thought, if your bowling is coming out good, and as we are seeing scores, they are scoring 400 scores, is going to be a fighting norm in this tournament. Don't you think that we could go with 5 bowlers and play that extra batsman in that position? Because Sky would give you that burst which you need in the middle overs, that 10 to 40 over span, and he's going to give you that burst going in with 5 bowlers and then getting to big totals like for example if you're playing in England or South Africa, you'll need that extra quick 50, 60, 70 odd runs.
See, when you play with 5, then you're again compromising on a batter.
Yeah.
And that's and not just that. What if one bowler is having a torrid time?
Exactly.
If you have that 6th option to fall back on, like today, Siraj only bowled 7. Normally, you're banking on him bowling a 9. You're banking on him bowling 10 overs every single time. And even I think the last 2 were because they really didn't have anyone else to bowl in the death.
And today, if you kind of have to make up, Shardul and Hardik combined kind of limited the damage what Mohammad Siraj actually undid at that time.
Correct.
Because see, 9 overs of 76, you go by the 5 bowler formula, there is no backup then.
Correct. No. In fact, even today, see, Jadeja only bowled 8 overs.
Yeah.
So there were bowlers who didn't complete,
Yeah, 3 bowlers didn't come, only 2 bowlers completed their quota. So that's why. Miraj Rules is saying, I said it yesterday, I'm standing by it, upset loading.
Interesting. He did actually say it yesterday, I remember.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
But then he said even maybe New Zealand could lose to Netherlands.
Yeah.
That's okay.
50-50. Yeah. So far he's batting 50-50 at this point. GGK, it is not an opening ceremony on India versus Pakistan. It's just a ceremony, a special ceremony.
You cannot call it an opening ceremony.
Yeah, opening ceremony would be pomp and show.
But there was no opening ceremony for the World Cup itself.
Exactly.
9 days late after the first match.
Forget there being one for just the India-Afghanistan. Though you were expecting, yes, of course, not just that ceremony. Yes, there will be high-profile people as well. Not just from the Indian side. Now we are getting to know that even Zaka Ashraf's travelling for that game. So
25 special members from the PCB and
Pakistan journalists have also been given accreditation and visas, more so that they were in anticipation of. So all of that's happening.
King D, for all that, look at Shane and my video which we have done on Mohammad Rizwan about what he said and what are the rules and everything. Check out Shane and my video. So that is the thing. Varun Parvateni prediction: India win by 3 wickets in 48 overs.
I still stand by what I said. 7 wickets.
8 wickets, I had said, yeah.
I think 7 wickets, and they'll win it in 40 overs.
India is going.
So far, he's getting close.
Yeah, to be fair, I predicted 280 as the score, so I was the closest.
Yep. And
of course, the one batter who I thought would do well.
By the 45th over, but I don't feel it's going to be that easy as we have been.
Interested.
Well, I mean, Shashwat in his time off the camera during I think the Asia Cup and all, he was getting these predictions kind of right.
He also thought Fakhar Zaman would be good, so it's okay.
That's okay.
We all have our
Avoid
moments.
that on camera.
He fell victim to Pakistan's mercurial thinking, and that's why.
And mercurial form. Because
exactly.
Thakur does have that ability. Let's be fair. He does have that ability. He just hasn't shown it often enough in the past year.
His highest score in the past 6 months has been
33.
33.
We had that. We were looking at this.
Exactly. So that
We
is
were
why.
having the same discussion.
Is this true, Harshad? Even the India games are not houseful. I thought the Delhi.
It's not houseful, though.
Is it? I thought it was houseful.
I think we'll know.
See, as things stand, I can tell you, yes, there were a few seats empty. But given what, because I have a few people visiting the stadium, they said that it still wasn't like the most seamless way or process to get inside the stadium. You're actually.
I want to be shocked.
I think because now it's past 6:30 now.
Yeah.
You'll expect the stadium to be full. Let's say anytime now, because you're not just looking at people getting done with work.
Yeah.
Also, sun's gone now. It was about
India's
75% full. If you ask me, you're looking at just the upmost tier, the topmost tier, which had some empty seats. But I reckon they'll be filled as well, because I can tell you about the number of calls. We were all flooded with the messages. There were so many takers. There weren't any tickets left. I expect at least this one to be a packed house.
Exactly. I think you should be fine. I hope he doesn't fall first. Whoa.
I was swung a bit.
Pretty much.
I'm
But
telling
again,
you, Fazal Haq has that ability.
Yeah.
And remember, if the dew comes in, he won't get that swing. So this much, how much ever he can exploit this movement, better do it. And Afghanistan should be praying that they get about 1-2 wickets, because if that doesn't happen, dew settles in. India are winning this very.
Canta.
Yeah,
And William Salibak has an interesting comment
He's a
once
Delhi
more.
wala.
Yeah, he's saying that the Delhi wala are infamous for being late, and this is coming from Delhi wala. I agree, but I'll also tell you, having visited the Delhi stadium, it is not an easy process. Even making it there, never mind entering, making it there, so you're not getting parking near the stadium.
See, that's with most stadiums. I think the sporting environment in the country is such that it was never made conducive for the spectator.
True, which is why I always wonder, why does people want to go to the stadium?
I mean,
Exactly.
I would remember.
Like, have a watch party with your friends, guys.
Yeah.
Watch sports today.
I mean,
do anything. Just don't go to the
I
stadium.
remember Dharamshala. I mean, if I have to go to the press box, and even Jaipur for that matter, you would have to walk at least 1-2 kilometers to get there.
Baba, even Delhi.
Delhi.
Even
Yeah,
Delhi.
Delhi.
People
No, but at
park,
least-
people park their cars and whatever. Firstly, people don't want to take their vehicles because there is no official parking.
Yeah, you're parking in ITO.
You're parking in ITO.
exactly.
Or you're
Delhi,
getting
Delhi.
down and you don't even get autos. You have to.
You can't
See,
book a
at
cab.
least
There
I
are
remember-
signal jammers inside the
I
stadium.
remember times as a kid, IPL matches would get over and I would walk down from the Firozshah Kotla right up till the ITO signal.
Yeah.
Which is, if you don't have company, like a good boring 10-minute, 15-minute walk.
correct.
It's a boring walk
This
over
whole
there.
road till the
Exactly.
And-
Doll Museum till the
But
Doll
kind of, if I may cut Delhi some slack, okay. Luckily, they have that ITO metro line.
Now they have
Now.
it.
And
Now
that
it-
was-
exactly. Now
Back
you
then
have-
it was a
By
nightmare.
the way, the metro existed, but that purple patch or that purple line, the purple line came about very late.
Very late, yeah, about 15. It came out 14-15, if I'm not mistaken, at that
No,
time.
no, see, you had the violet line, what he's referring to.
Yeah,
The
violet line.
And at that time, violet line, by the way, only went till Central Secretariat.
Yeah.
So the ITO station, he's right, came about
The
in
Mandi
15
House,
times. Yeah, that
ITO,
extension.
Delhi Gate,
Yeah.
all of these stations came about
Much
very late.
later.
Because prior to that, you had massive traffic from old Delhi stretch on into that ITO section.
Correct.
The junction
Oh, yeah.
would be.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Madness.
Yeah.
And by the way, I stay, if you go by the drive distance, not too far from the stay. Oh, look at
Swinging
that.
it both ways.
He's swinging it both ways, but his control is off.
Yeah.
That's not
The
helping him.
outswinger is quite pretty much.
And so I stayed not very far in terms of driving distance, but it is delicious getting into the stadium. Even worse, entering. So I don't really blame people if they haven't been able to get in yet.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about going for an IPL match, by the way.
Oh.
That was terrible. I can't
was
imagine
next
what
level.
it's
Now
going to
people
be
will
like.
start to come in as India's
Batting. And a lot of them will get free from work, no?
Yeah, plus
Exactly.
everything.
Well done, Siddharth.
Well done, indeed. I get these kind of spam calls always, which is not worth it. So the chase has started. I think you said
I
40
think Ishan has
overs.
learned from his mistakes. He's
Yeah.
not touching the balls outside.
Swinging outside, yeah.
So you said
Pretty much
40 overs.
outside.
Yeah, it's a
And
40
you were
overs.
saying it's going to be a close game. I also
I'm not
said
saying it's going to be a close game. India is going to win, but it's not going to be that easy.
I think India will need about 42 overs to get there.
Close.
I also say in that same range. I'm also seeing it. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us. More videos coming your way from Sports Today. We are also building up not just for this game, but for the other World Cup games, and also 2 days later the grand India versus Pakistan
Oh,
match
yes.
as well.
Nicely poised.
And you're going to get a lot of inputs from Sunny G, Harbhajan, Robbie.
Robbie is going to be there. Nikhil probably will be travelling for that match, so we'll get you exclusive reports from the ground as well. Stay tuned to Sports Today, your destination for everything sport.
Absolutely.
And entertainment as well. I mean.
Exactly. Bye-bye from
See
me,
you then.
Harshit, Shane and Shashwat.